Well, good morning and welcome once again to Ed's Orchids. Now today we're talking about a greenhouse and insulating a greenhouse. Now this greenhouse I have has been up since 2007 and the bubble wrap and the covering has been up since 2007 and it's still going strong. I mean the bubble wrap is the same, it's been up 13 to 14 years and it's lovely and soft yet, and all the bubbles are still there. So really I want to show you how I did it. And this is a rhino greenhouse, but it doesn't matter what sort of greenhouse it is because you've always got these struts with a slit down the middle to put your little screws in. So every greenhouse is the same. And this might look a little bit complicated, but believe me, it's quite easy once you get it going. Now the main thing they give you when you get a new greenhouse is these little nuts and bolts which are sort of, what do they call them, self-threading. They just push them in, turn them, and then they seal when you tighten them up. Now this is one that's a little bit long. You get the shorter ones to start with, but what you need is ones which are longer than the longest you can get, if you know what I mean. So what I did, I got some bolts, same diameter, here we are, and that long, and what I did, I flattened the edges down so they will fit in and turn. Well, these are sort of a little diagram of the your framework, and the one I shaded up is the holes. So when you get the long bolts, you just put them in there, turn them, and they'll fasten in. Now the first thing you fasten in is, what I've got on my greenhouse, is it's just 12mm polycarbonate. And to fix this in is quite simple. What I do there, I get the measurements all the way around the greenhouse, and instead of putting that inside there on the glass, right, you want to measure from where this polycarbonate can just overlap on top of the frame, and that will give you a space between the glass of your greenhouse and the polycarbonate you put it on. Now to fix this polycarbonate into place is simplicity itself. Now what you really need for fastening it is something like this. This is a little piece of aluminium thin, but it can be wood, it can be anything. This just happens to be a little aluminium piece I've got left over from the greenhouse. And what you do is this. So you've got this bolt fixed into the greenhouse by the nut, so it's nice and solid, the nut's not going to move at all. Yeah, you've got the polycarbonate which is up against the glass, it's not fastened in yet. Whoops. And this will go there right onto the glass, so that gives you about a, there we are, that gives you about a 10mm space, and then you screw this up and that will turn and hold your glass, your polycarbonate in place. Bit difficult to fiddle, but it's quite easy actually. It's difficult to film and tell you what to do at the same time, but that will hold your polycarbonate in place and you've no need to seal it or anything. As long as you've measured it correct size, then it's quite easy. You can see roughly how this polycarbonate is fitting there with this little wedge that you just turn around and fasten it in. And then what happens is the bubble wrap, you put your spacers on or whatever you want and where you want, and then press the bubble wrap over it and then screw it up. As simple as that. Well, you've got your polycarbonate fixed in now, so how do you do the bubble wrap? Well, looking at it from the side, that's all fixed in, yeah, with this metal piece holding in the polycarbonate. Now, it all depends how far you want the bubble wrap away from the polycarbonate. But these are quite easy to get. Different plastic washers, different thicknesses. Or these, and they'll make them any size you want. Just get them off the web, and they're pretty cheap. Now I've chose this size for mine, and what happens is the bubble wrap will just fit onto there, so you've got that space in between, and then you just screw that up as well. So then you've got that in the metal frame, you've got your polystyrene at the back of here, you've got a washer, and you've got the bubble wrap fixed up to there. And what can I say about it? The main thing about building like this is to make sure you get a long enough nut that fits in. And I would space them out every, what? Well, you want them on every panel, so I'd space them out equally. Well, the panels will space them out for you, won't they? You know, I think about every 2 feet you'll get one of these, and you'll have to put them in from top to bottom. I'll see if I can show you what I mean. Well, this is a little bit difficult, but you can see what I mean. There are your spaces to hold in the polystyrene at the back. You know, it's in, just turned and it holds it in. All right. Now you've no need to use that nut if you don't want, like I've done. You can do separate nuts, but as long as they're long and you put them in at varying distances, so when you put your bubble wrap up, it fits in very, very comfortably. So once you've got your nuts and bolts in places and your spacers all in places, then I put some at the top there, and I measure a piece of bubble wrap that goes all from there across the roof and down to the bottom, and they've all got spacers in, and the only thing you do then is get your bubble wrap and you press it on from the top, stretch it out, press it out and press them in different stages of where you've got the nuts and bolts, and it fits us in very, very easily. But as I say, and I can't stress enough that the thing to do is make your bolts that fit into your framework long enough, and then when you've got all those in place, you can do exactly what you want. You can space it out to 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch, whatever you like. All depends on what thickness of polystyrene you get. Polystyrene, I keep saying polystyrene. Polycarbonate. Well, I know I'm not very good at teaching or explaining things properly, and I get a little bit mixed up, but I think you'll get the general idea of what I do. And as I say, this has been up 14 years almost now, and it's still okay. It's got algae on it from time to time, but no, I'm quite pleased with it. It's been up 14 years, and I've got absolutely no grumbles with it whatsoever. And the bubble wrap here, I don't know whether it's the polycarbonate that's protecting it from deteriorating. I don't know. But the bubble wrap is not deteriorating at all. And it's not the ordinary cheap bubble wrap, it's the special bubble wrap for greenhouses, which is UV protected, I think. So I can't explain it any further. Well, you might say, well, how about the window openings and the vents, you know, down at the bottom? What do we do about those? Well, completely ignore them. Let the polycarbonate cover them up. You know, there's no problem with that, because if it does get warm, then I just open the double doors. That's all there is to it. and that works very, very well. So I hope I've explained myself properly on this one. I'm not very good at teaching people, you know, by word of mouth and things like that. Different when I'm face to face with them. But I hope you get the gist of what I've done, and I hope you have success with yours. So thanks very much for watching. Thank you to all my subscribers, and until next time, I'll see you later.